Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a horse stable. Do you have a massive collection of horses in your world and you just don't know what to do with them? Well, I have the answer for you. I've built you a horse stable. This is a place that you can store as many horses as you like. I don't have a collection of horses, but you guys might, and this is the perfect place to put them. By the way, just in case you are interested in any of the other animal-related builds that I've done in the recent past, we have a rabbit hutch there on the front left-hand side. We have a chicken coop. Over there in the back, we have a dog house. And over there in the back left-hand side, where that fish is, we have a cat house as well. I've been doing a few animal-related builds, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this one, because you've been loving all of the previous ones. I'll leave links to all of those both in the card system and the description below if you want to make any of the other animal-related builds that I've done. You guys have been loving them, and hopefully you'd like this one as well. If you do, please do give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. But without any further ado, let's talk about these stables. So to make it, we're going to need some spruce wood and some dark oak wood planks. We'll also need some birch wood planks. Flip down, grab yourself some dark oak wood stairs and some dark oak wood slabs. We're also going to need some birch wood stairs and some netherbrick fence. We'll also want to grab a little bit of glass, but I don't think that we need too much of it. We need a little bit of white stained glass paint, and just to be sure, we'll have some white stained glass block as well. Now, those are the only materials that we can carry with us, so we'll just have to grab all of the other stuff as we progress through, and we will need some more stuff. So, once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm actually going to be making it right here, because we kind of like build the horse stable on its side. I'll explain in a second. Well, I'm going to be making it right here, and I'm going to be kicking off the build with a row of 5 spruce wood. So coming up from the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm then going to go right of that 5th block by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm then going to go up by 1, right by 1, up by 1, right by 1, up by 1, then right by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm then going to go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, and then right by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm then going to connect that block all the way down to the ground. So we're going to end up with a shape that should look a little bit like this. And this is the front of the horse stables. And I designed it to kind of like go sideways on. So can you see how all of those other buildings are kind of like front facing this way? Like the way that you would access the stables is from the side. That's all I'm trying to explain. I hope that that's coming across for you guys. Well, once you have this shape right here, you then want to take the two top corners of the shape, which are these two ends here. Take the end two corners and we want to extend them back by 18 with our spruce wood. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then we want to connect those 18 blocks to the ground, and we want to do the same with the opposite side, so that'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, just to make sure we've got that right. And I'm going to connect that down to the ground. I'm doing a very poor job of that because that's actually the wrong block, but you guys get the point. You want to connect it down to the ground, so we want to have this shape. And then what we want to do on the back of the stables, we actually want that exact same shape that we have over there, over here. So we'll take this like top left-hand block, this 18th block here. We'll go right of it by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll then go up on top of it by 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, and then right until we connect there. So we just want to have pretty much the exact same thing on the front and back of the stables. The front and back of the stables are actually very similar to each other, but they are different as well. So similar but different. So you do have to choose whichever side you want to be the front. Once you've got that taken care of, come all the way to the front of your stables. We're going to take care of the front. And we want to start going right of this very first spruce wood block that we placed. This is the first initial spruce wood block that we placed, and we want to go right of this by 1 with the birch wood planks, then 3 with the dark oak wood planks, that's 1, 2, 3, then 1 with the birch wood. Then we want to place a spruce wood here, then we want to go up on top of it by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. We then want to go right 1, up 1, right 2, down 1, right 1, connect down to the ground. Take that block that touches the ground, go right of it by 1 birchwood planks, 3 dark oak wood planks, 1 birchwood planks, like this. What we can then do is, on top of the dark oak wood planks, we want to stack nether brick fence, and on top of the nether brick fence, we stack dark oak wood planks again. Do that on the left hand side, do it on the right. So also on the right, we want to have the exact same thing. So we'll just boop, boop, boop. Just like that. You can then fill the rest of the area inside of the entrance here with your spruce. Is it birch? It's birchwood planks. My apologies. We want to use our birchwood planks and we just want to fill in the rest of the area. So we just want to have something which should look a little bit like that. And we can also make the entrance look a bit fancier. So can you see where we have this spruce wood for the actual like entrance where you would enter the stables? Well, take that spruce wood and extend it out in front of the stables by 1 row. So just take each one of those spruce woods, extend it out in front of the stables by 1 row. You then want to go on top of the outside of the stables you want to go on top of the entrance of the stables, and you kind of just want to do like a layer of dark oak wood stairs. So you kind of just want to taper a layer of dark oak wood stairs like on top of the outside of the entrance. And you're also going to want to place a dark oak wood plank in between those top 2 dark oak wood planks like that. We then want to extend those dark oak wood stairs out in front of the entrance by 1 row, like this. So we just want to extend them out in front of the entrance by 1 row. Then we want to take the birchwood stairs and we want to do upside down birchwood stairs underneath each one of those upside down dark oak wood stairs. And we also want to do a layer of dark oak wood slabs right at the top of the entrance. So we have a little bit of a fancier looking entrance like that. And that's exactly how this thing is supposed to go. And whilst we are focusing on the front of this thing, let's talk about the roof for the actual front. We don't have to do much of it now, but I do want to have it laid out. So for the roof of this thing, we actually have kind of like, you know how we have like the top middle part of the roof here? Well, we want to have dark oak wood stairs like on the corner parts here of the left hand side of the roof and on the right hand side of the roof. And it actually wants to come all the way up and it wants to connect at the top here. So right at the top, it just wants to it just wants to look like this. You want to place dark oak wood stairs on top of the spruce wood, and then you want to connect them together at the top with dark oak wood planks. You then want to use dark oak wood slabs to cover the rest of the roof on the front. And the dark oak wood slabs also want to overhang the side by 1 row, like this. So you want to overhang the actual building on the left and right hand side by 1 row. And the roof itself also wants to overhang the front of the stables by 1 row. So we just want to overhang the front of the stables by 1 row. This includes the planks, this includes the stairs, this includes the slabs, this includes all of that stuff. And we just want to have it overhang the front of the stables by 1 row. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like that, and that is perfect. So that is the front of the stables completed, and that is the start of the roof as well. The roof is going to look exactly like this, and it will eventually be dragged over all the way to the opposite side of the stable, but we're not going to do that until a little bit later. Well, once you've got that taken care of, come all the way over to the opposite end of the stable. It's now time for us to work on this. And all the way over at the opposite end of the stable, we want to come and find this bottom left-hand corner block of spruce wood, and we want to go right the spruce wood by 1 the planks, birchwood planks that is, then 3 dark oak wood planks, that's 1, 2, 3. We then want to do a birchwood plank, and then we want to do 4 birchwood planks coming out from the ground next to it, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to go right 1, up 1, right by 2. We then want to go down 1, right 1, and then connect all the way down to the ground. Take that block that connects to the ground, go right of it by 1 the birchwood, 3 dark oak wood planks, 1 birchwood. And on top of the dark oak wood planks, stack a layer of nether brick fence. On top of that nether brick fence, stack a layer of dark oak wood planks. You guys know how to do this, we've done it one time already. And now what we want to do is we want to stack a layer of white stained glass. That's just 3 light stained glass on top of the entrance of the back. Then you can casually fill the back in with your birchwood planks. It's quite easy, isn't it? The back of the stables is a little bit different. Like I said, just a little bit different to the front. You can make them more alike if you want, but I do like the fact that there is a little bit of a distinction here. So you'll end up with something that should look a little bit like that. Well, once you've got that taken care of, it's probably about time for us to focus on the sides of the stables. So come all the way over to, let's say, the right-hand side of the stable. We have to do the same thing to both sides, so it doesn't really matter. And underneath this long row of 18 spruce wood that we have, we want to do this. So, starting from this top left-hand corner, inside of it, we want to go right, and we want to have this pattern of blocks. We want to do 5 birchwood planks, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1 spruce wood. 5 planks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 spruce wood, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planks. You then want to connect those spruce woods all the way down to the ground, preferably do the right block. I kind of failed there a little bit, and you'll end up with something that should look a little bit like this. What we can then do is we can take each ends of those birchwood planks and we can connect them down to the ground, and then inside of this empty space that we have, we want to do a layer of white stained glass block underneath that top row of 3 birchwood planks, and then connect blocks number 1 and blocks number 3 of your glass down to the ground with dark oak wood planks like this. You want to do that in each one of these spaces, so you drag the ends down with your birchwood planks, you do your layer of white stained glass right at the top, and then you connect down each one of those first and third blocks down to the ground with your dark oak wood planks. So remember, birchwood planks on each end. We then want to do the glass, and then we want to do the dark oak wood planks connecting the glass down to the ground, and it'll end up looking a little something like this. It's quite easy. And you know what? Whilst we're out here, this is what we want to do as well. So we want to take our spruce wood, and we want to take each one. Can you see where the spruce wood connects down to the ground? Digging into the ground, extending it outwards, we want to have rows of 9 spruce wood coming out of the stable in the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or as long as you want, by the way. You can shorten it or longer it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you want to do the exact same thing to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So as you can see, you want to do the exact same thing to every single one of those spruce woods. And then you want to connect them together like end block to end block. So we want to dig out a row that connects all of them together. You then want to fill that row in with your spruce wood. So you just want to fill it in with spruce wood like this little trench that we've just dug out here. It's essentially a trench is what we've made. And we want to dig this out. And then eventually we're going to add a little bit of hay. And we're also going to add a fence. We'll actually add the fence now because there's nothing stopping us. We have it in the inventory, but we'll also add some hay bales in a second. So I'm just going to add a layer of nether brick fence on top of the spruce, and this is going to keep the horses separated, but it's also going to provide a nice little outside space for each one of the 3 horses on this side, or, you know, as many horses as you want to cram in here. You can elongate this building indefinitely, like, you could make this as long as you want if you wanted to. So you want to end up with something that should look like this, and once you've done this to one side, you want to do the exact same thing to the other side. So we want to come all the way to the other side here, and we want to do literally the exact same thing. Can you guys remember the pattern that we're doing underneath this row of 18 spruce wood? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birchwood planks, and then 1 spruce. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birchwood, and then 1 spruce, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birchwood planks. Then you connect these spruce woods down to the ground, like so. You guys can see what I'm doing here, connect them down to the ground. We then want to connect the birchwood planks down to the ground, to the end blocks. That is, we want to connect the end blocks down to the ground. Then we want to have our layer of glass that is underneath the top 3 birchwood planks, like so. And then we want to do dark oak wood planks connecting the 2 end blocks all the way down to the ground. So we want to connect these down to the ground, and we'll end up with something that should look a little bit like that. Well, once you've got that taken care of, we now want to take out our spruce wood, and we want to extend each one of those spruce woods in the ground outwards by 9. Can you guys remember? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we want to have the same for the others, but I'm going to make this process a little bit quicker by digging the horizontal trench all the way over to the opposite side. I'm going to connect it to the opposite side, and then I'm going to dig in the 2 additional trenches from the stables all the way to that outer row that I've done. And then I'm going to add all of the layers of spruce wood inside the trenches, and then we'll add the fences. And I think that this is probably the fastest way to do it. I'm just trying to maximize efficiency here, guys. I'm just trying to get this done as fast as possible. You've already done it once, and honestly, it's quite a simple process, isn't it? So once you've got all of your spruce wood taken care of, we're then going to extend the nether brick fence going all the way around, and then we can just do the individual layers of nether brick fence. And I do realize that I've actually just missed two there. I did miss the one nether brick fence. Yep, there we go, all the way over there. And that second one, which I filled in first, I also missed that one as well. We've just got another row of connecting fence, and perfect. We now have the three separating little outside spaces for our horses. Well, once you've got that taken care of, it's now time to work inside the stable just a little bit. We have to do a little bit of work inside here. So what do we want to do? We want to take out our spruce wood, and we're inside of the stable. Can you see where we have the entrance here? Can you remember how we have these 2 rows of 4 left and right of the entrance? We want to take those 4th blocks, and we want to extend those 4th blocks from one side of the stable to the opposite side of the stable. So that's from one side all the way to the other. We want to connect it together, so front to back like this. We then want to move it just 3 rows upwards. That's 1, 2, 3 here, and in line with the spruce wood that we have very near the top of our stable, we also want to extend this, connecting the front of the stables to the back of the stables. So we just want to have something which should look a little bit like that. So we just have those 2 rows. What else do we want to do, you might be wondering to yourselves? Well, what we want to do, we want to separate each one of these 6 areas, because there's 6 of them in total. We want to separate the 6 areas, and to do that, we want to, can you see where you have the spruce wood on the outside of your stable? Well, you also want to connect this lower beam of spruce wood down to the ground in line with those spruce woods that you have outside the stable. So you want to have something which should look like that. Can you guys see what I'm talking about? Well, once you've done that on one side, you want to do the same on the other side. So we just want to, in line with the spruce wood that you have on the outside of the stable, connect it down. And these are just going to form the little areas that will have each one of the horses in. So what we now want to do is we want to form the areas that they will be able to live in. So we want to take, let's start right at the front. Okay, so this is the front of the stables, right? No, this is the back of the stables, my bad. So this is the front of the stable, and we'll start in the front left-hand space. So first, we're just going to build a little bit of a wall. We're going to pretend to be Donald Trump. We're going to build a wall between this part of the stable and the opposite part of the stable, and we're just going to build like a row of 5 dark oak wood planks here. Then we're going to raise up the corners each by 1 and 2. And 1 and 2, and then we're going to connect them together at the top, and that is going to just separate this part of the stable from that other part of the stable. We also want to build one here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just wants to be like in line with the inside of the door, so it's actually easier to see it once I've just done this other one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here in this position, up by 2, then connect them together at the top. You guys are going to see why it's here in a second. So can you see why that is? So you basically just want to have in these positions your dark oak wood planks, but you don't have to do that at the front of the stable and the back of the stable. Like, you don't have to do it on this side, because of course we already have the wall. This is just the separating wall between the horses. And we also want to come to the very end, and where we have like these birch wood planks, and just inside the spruce we want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then extend each corner up by 2 like that, and then connect them together at the top. What we're also going to do is just fill those in the inside of those little windows with nether brick fence. We're just going to fill those in with nether brick fence, and that's going to look quite nice. So we now have the dividing walls between the horses. That's not too bad, is it? Well, once you have the dividing wall between the horses, we now want to do this, and we do need some more material. So get rid of your spruce wood for a while. I don't think we need it just yet. And you can grab some dark oak fence gates. Where are they? There we go, some dark oak fence gates. And we want to have, you know what, for simplicity's sake, we are going to add the layer of dark oak wood planks just next to the window here. We're going to add the layer of dark oak wood planks just next to the window, because what we want to have on the outer part of the stables is we want to have 2 birchwood stairs upside down, and we want to have a dark oak wood fence gate connecting in between them. So this is the little space that the horse is going to live in. That's its little stall, and that's how it will get outside, and that's how that's going to look. And we want to have the same thing for like this middle part. We want 2 upside down birchwood stairs, and we then want dark oak fence gates connecting them. And also on the outer part here, where we didn't think that we were going to be adding the dark oak wood planks, but we've added them anyway, and I suppose this does even up the stables a little bit. And we want to have the birchwood stairs, the upside down birchwood stairs with the dark oak wood fence gates in between them, like this. So not only do you want to do that on one side, but you also want to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're coming to the other side, and we want to add all of our layers of dark oak wood planks. So we have to do it, remember, on the outer parts, so like at the front and back of the stable, but the most important walls are definitely the 2 separating ones between the 2 horses. So we just want to, I keep extending them too many blocks up like this, so we have one there, and it's basically wherever you have the birchwood planks, you just want that row of 5 dark oak wood planks, and then you just want to extend the corners each up by 2, and then connect them together at the top. And then we just, of course, you guys remember what we're going to do. We're going to do a nether brick fence in between the 2 empty spaces, and this is just going to make sure that nobody can shove their head through and bite the other horses, or whatever they may be doing, I don't know. So those are all of the little separating walls. I'm now just going to fill them in with the nether brick fence. I don't think we have to do... Nope, that's all of the nether brick fence done. So we'll have something which should look a little bit like that, and that's looking quite nice. We'll then take out our birchwood stairs. We'll do upside down birchwood stairs to connect each one of the ends of the 2 stalls together, and we'll have a dark oak wood fence gate in between them, so you can walk your horses in and out as you do. So you want to have something which should look like this. What you then want to do is add some lighting to these places, so we can get rid of the fence gates for a little while, and we can grab ourselves some glowstone. We're going to add a little bit of glowstone into the top of the stables, and to do that we're just going to have like glowstone in this position. So we'll have a glowstone at the front, the middle, and the top. And can you see, it's just in line with the middle of the stable, it's in line with the birchwood planks, and it just sits above like that. So we just want to have glowstone in those positions, just inside of each one of these stalls. And there's a reason that it's in that position. And remember, we want to have them inside of each one of the 6 stables. So do this 6 times in total. We'll add the glowstone, and then we're going to add a layer of birchwood planks. We're going to add, not birchwood planks, I apologize. We're going to add a layer of birchwood slabs, and this is going to conceal the, it's going to conceal the glowstone, or at least the top part of the glowstone. So I'll show you what I mean. So we have our glowstone in this position, and then if we get rid of the glowstone and we grab ourselves some birchwood slabs, we can then fill in line with the bottom of the glowstone. We just want to add a layer of birchwood slabs in, and it gives a pretty cool effect. If you're looking, like, if you're actually in creative mode and you're flying around, it gives you a pretty cool effect, like, as you look at the top, like, it just has it poking out, but you still get the benefit of the lights inside of each one of the stables. And each one, I keep calling them stables, but in each one of the stalls, I think that's what it's called. Is it called a stall or something? What's a paddock? I know that that's another horse word. You know what? I've got no idea. You guys know what I'm talking about. I suppose you could generalize and say that this entire thing is a stables, and I guess you could just label everything inside here as the stables. But I'm trying to be a bit more specific, and I'm failing miserably because honestly, I'm not a farmer. Believe it or not, I'm not a farmer. I don't own my own farm as much as I wish I do. I have 0 chickens. 0 chickens I have, believe it or not. I own 0 chickens. No pigs, as much as I would love a micro pig. Have you guys ever seen micro pigs? They're those tiny little pigs with the little trotters. I'd get hardwood floors with those and I'd polish them and I'd watch them walk around the house. But you can see that we have all of the glowstone inserted into the ceilings. And it's looking quite nice now, isn't it? It's looking quite homely for all of the horses. Well, let's talk about the ceiling for the rest of it. So we're very rapidly coming to a point where we're going to have to put the roof on. But first, we're going to add layers of white stained glass paint. Can you see all the way up at the top that separates like the top of the little individual horse stalls and the roof? Well, we want to do a layer of 2 white stained glass pane in between the two layers of spruce wood, and that's why it's a pretty cool effect. That's why we have the glowstone poking out of the top instead of it just being set in, because we have even more light added in here and it just looks a lot bit nicer. So I think it actually looks quite cool. I like it like that. What are we going to do next? Well, I think that the thing that we have to do next is most definitely the roof. We're going to be adding the roof onto this place. Remember guys, it's really easy to add the roof. The roof is basically the roof that we added on the front. It's just dragged all the way to the back. So we're doing the exact same roof that we did all the way up at the front of the build, and we're just extending it all the way back. I'm just going to add the overhanging layer. Remember that the roof wants to overhang the front and the back of the stables by 1 row, so do remember to do that. But then all you have to do is just like connect the front and the back, and it should be quite easy to do that. It shouldn't cause you too much turmoil, and once you've done it, we can then talk about the little individual parts of this that we just have to do. We do, you know what? We do have quite a bit more to do actually. So I'll be back in just a second once I've finished filling in the roof. I expect you guys to do the same. Okay, so that is what the roof should look like once it's been 100% fully completed. Nice and easy. Well, once you have got that completed, and that might take you a couple of minutes, pause this video if necessary, and once you've done that, you can hit play and you can continue with the rest of us. Well, once you've done that, we have to just finish off the inside the stables here. So what we're going to do all the way up at the inside the stables, we're going to add another layer of white stained glass. So we're going to add this glass in the space above the spruce connected to the roof, and it's going to look a little something like that. I think it just makes the stables look a little bit nicer. What we're then going to do is we're going to need our old friend, the glowstone, and we're going to add hanging lights. Now these hanging lights are going to be right in the center of the roof here, and they are going to be in line with the middle part of each one of the little horse stables, or what's that word? You guys know what I'm talking about. So it's in line with these two, with the spruce wood beams that connect down to the floor, basically. And it's in line with the horizontal spruce wood and the vertical spruce wood. You guys can see what I'm talking about. We'll have two of these. We'll have one in line with that like front middle part, and we'll have one in line with this like back middle part. So it'll be here. We're going to follow it up. It'll be hanging from the roof. And we just want the glowstone to be situated in the horizontal row of spruce wood, so it should be right here. So we just have two of them, one there, one here. What else do we have to add? You might be wondering to yourself. So we have to take care of the flooring. There's two different floors. We'll need dark oak wood planks and birch wood planks. That's all we'll need for this. And we're going to knock out the floor entirely for the stables. We'll knock out inside of the little areas where we're going to have the horses. And we're also going to knock out the area where you would have the people walking up and down. So the area inside the stable where you would be walking around, not the horse, where you would be walking around, we're going to replace that with dark oak wood planks. That's going to be dark oak wood planks. So this bit essentially that I'm knocking out now, not inside of the stalls, a stall, that's what it is. Not inside the stall. We're going to be knocking this out and replacing this part with dark oak wood planks. So this will be dark oak wood planks, this entire area that we have just completely destroyed. And inside of the horse stable, but by the way, not underneath the little entrance, so not underneath where you can see underneath these stairs, we're going to keep that dark oak wood planks, but inside of the stalls they shall be birch wood planks. So inside of this it's birch wood planks, and also this doesn't apply, you know where the horse exits like onto the yard here, that is also I think going to be dark oak wood planks. So it'll look a little something like this. I'm not going to do this on recording because it's going to take a little while and it's going to be a little bit finicky, so I'm going to be back in just a moment once I've completely knocked out the floor and replaced it with all of the different colours that we have to do. So I'll be back in just a moment, guys, once I've got all of that taken care of. Back in a moment. Okay, so I have completely replaced the floor. Everywhere outside of the stalls is now dark oak wood planks, including, by the way, just the entrance to the stall and like the exit onto the yards. And inside of each one of the individual stalls, we now have birch wood planks. I think that looks quite nice. You can reverse it if you like. You can have the entire floor birch wood planks if you want to make it a little bit brighter, but that's what I've done. Let's add some finishing touches to this stable. So we're going to be wanting, just to finish this off a little bit, we'll be wanting some hay bales. We'll be adding some hay, not only to the inside of each one of the individual stores, and we're just going to add 2 bales of hay inside of each one of the stores. And these 2 bales of hay are just at the exits of the stores. So like just coming out of the back of the exits, we just want to have 2 hay bales at the bottom on either side, like this. So the horses have something to eat, isn't that nice? But we're also going to be adding individual hay bales in the little yards for the horse. So kind of scattered anywhere, if you like. We just want some hay. I've decided to put 2 bales of hay in each one of the like little recreational areas for the horses. I'm just adding 2 bales of hay, just in each one of the 2 individual, in each one of the little outside areas for the horses. So it just makes the place look a little bit brighter, it just breaks it up a little bit more, and I quite like that as it is. Well, once you've got all of that taken care of, we're now going to grab, before we start on one of the bigger parts of this, we're going to grab an item frame, and we're also going to grab a saddle. And just above the entrance here, we're going to have right at this top spruce wood, underneath this upside down birchwood stair, we're going to have inside of an item frame a saddle, and I quite like that. Is it necessary? Nah, not really, but I quite like it, so there you go. Add that or don't, up to you. Well, once you've got that taken care of, we're now going to get rid of all of our materials. We're going to need brown stained clay, we'll need some orange stained clay, we'll need yellow stained clay, also grab some black wool, and we also need some Never brick fence. Come all the way up to the top back of your stable. And you want to, on top of this like left hand, like middle dark oak wood plank here, so this block just left to the middle dark oak wood plank, we want to go on top of this, and we want to go up on top of it by 3 with our never brick fence. That's 1, that'll be 2, and that'll be 3. You want to do the same with the right middle dark oak wood plank, so that's 1, that'll be 2, that'll be 3. On top of the left third never brick fence, you want to place a brown stained clay. We then want to go left of that brown stained clay by 1, do an up left diagonal. Go left by 2, then go down by 2, then go right by 1 with your black wool, then go down by 2 with the black, go left by 1, do an up left diagonal, go up by 1. Return back up to the block that you went down from with your brown stained clay, and you want to go up on top of it by 1. Then do 2 up left diagonals, 1 and 2. Then go up by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Then do 3 up right diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3. Then go right by 1. Do a bottom right diagonal, go right by 1. Do 2 bottom right diagonals. You then want to go right by 1. Do a bottom right diagonal, go right 1. Do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 2, then go left by 1, do 2 bottom left diagonals, that's 1 and 2. You then want to go left down by 2, that's 1, 2, and you should find that you hit that never brick fence, which was a stupid idea to add in the first place, so we'll destroy that and we'll go left by 2 with our brown stained clay. So we'll just end up with something that should look a little bit like that. That's what we want to have. That's the outline of a saddle, if you guys haven't gathered. Well, what we then want to do is we want to kind of like fill it in a little bit with orange stained clay. So what we'll do is on the top right hand or the middle right hand side of the saddle here, on top of this lip, we'll place an orange stained clay. We'll then do 2 bottom left diagonals. We'll make it 3. We'll then go left until we hit the brown stained clay. We'll go up 1, left till we hit clay, up 1, left till we hit clay, up left diagonal. Then we'll go up by 2 with the yellow stained clay. Place an orange stained clay, do 2 upright diagonals, go right by 1. And that is just a nice little bit of highlighting with the orange stained clay. We'll also want to fill in the bottom part here, those 2 empty blocks, and then we'll fill the center of this in with yellow stained clay. And that is going to be a saddle. It seemed to make sense to me to have this above the horse stables. Now, is it necessary? No. That's why we left it until last. This is the absolute last thing that we have to do here. Is it necessary? No. Do I quite like it? yeah, I kinda like it. So it's up to you whether you want this included on your stables or not, completely up to you, but I like it a little bit, and it's kind of nice to just like see it from the back. Like, you don't see it very much, like as you're on the ground, like at the front, you'll be able to see it from like kind of very, 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 very far away. You kind of like see the giant saddle, and I think that that tips you off immediately what that is, kind of like as you look at it from afar away. But you don't need it if you don't want to. I just kind of like it. I like the novelty of it. Well, that is the horse stables, guys. There's nothing... You know what? There's something left to add. Wait a sec. We were, of course, missing the horses, which are trying desperately to escape, but I don't think they can. If they can escape, they really don't seem to want to. I think they can just jump on the edges of the blocks. Yeah, there's no way that they can get out, otherwise they definitely would have already. You know what? I kind of like the fact that they're a little bit antsy. They come and greet you, they come and say hello. That's a donkey, that is not a horse, but you know what? I'll take him anyway. He's my favourite. So, this is... What happened to you? What happened to Sparkles? Sparkles the horse has died. I named him Sparkles. You know what? You know what's very close to a horse? We'll put an ocelot in there, because why not? We'll put an ocelot in there. Very, very similar. Oh, he loves the outside. Look at him. So that's the last thing that we had to add. As you can see, they're quite secure in here. They're not going anywhere. For some reason, they like to stand on the edge of it. I'm not sure why. Oh, the ocelot's on top of the hay bale. That's adorable. And that is the horse stables. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give this video a like, give it a favorite, give it a share. I'd really, really appreciate it. I spent a lot of time on these stables, so I'd love it if you could give a little bit back just by liking the video, just by giving it a favorite or a share. Any or all three. I would love any of those. Check out the card system, check out the description below for all of my other animal-related builds. You may be able to see them in the background. My favourite is the rabbit hutch. Other than this one, my favourite's the rabbit hutch, then the chicken coop, then the doghouse, then the cat house. I'd make them in that order if I were you. I love every single one of those builds. They're fantastic. But I do definitely have my favourites, as does everybody. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm not sure if you've just checked out the surroundings, but we do a lot of stuff around here. We don't just focus on one type of build, we have a lot of stuff around here. I mean, just over there is a Pokeball, Pikachu house, a fishbowl house, a campsite, there's a library over there. There's even a police station. Subscribe if you want to check out all of the crazy builds that we get up to over here. Like, favourite, share if you wouldn't mind. Check out the card system, comment down below, let me know what you want me to make next. I'm thinking about making a pig pen next, but let me know if you have any other ideas. Animal related or otherwise. Check out the card system, description below for all of my other fun animal related builds. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.